Hey guys, it's Jacqueline and welcome back to another speed build in The Sims 4. So today's video is townhouses, and I really love townhouses, like as a general concept. I really like looking at pictures of them on stuff. A whole 2 boards actually dedicated to them on Pinterest. And today I wanted to do specifically these townhouses inspired by London. I think it's a pretty bougie, for lack of a better word, part of London, like extravagant, luxurious is a much better word than bougie, So I believe they're found in Kensington and those kinds of places, which I'm guessing Kensington is like an upper class neighborhood. I don't know. That's a lie. I was about to say I've never been to London, but I have been, but I was 4, so I wasn't taking much note of the architecture and all of that stuff. But I really, really love the way that these townhouses look, and there are a bunch of different pictures of different houses, but they all have like a similar vibe to them. So I've had a bunch of these pictures saved for so long, and I've never actually ended up building them, so I thought that was what I would do today. And well, not today, I did this a while ago, but that was what I wanted to do with this build and this video. And you may be like, this is a bit of a strange thing to make right now after the Country Kitchen Kit stuff came out. Well, what a great segue, because this is kind of weird I think, but the first thought I had after, obviously I was like, oh my god, cottage, these are perfect for a cottage, when I was looking at the Country Kitchen Kit stuff. But then I saw the black swatch, which was like black counters with white butcher block countertops, and there's golden handles on them, and I just thought they were so pretty. And my first thought was that they would be perfect in one of these kinds of fancy looking townhouses in the kitchen. And so that was what I originally started out with wanting to do for this build, but then I kind of transferred on the inside into a more rustic, well, not rustic necessarily, but just a little more cozy vibe, as opposed to something a little starker, I guess is what I think of when I think of luxurious and stuff. Oh my god, sorry, I just got a pop-up on my computer. Go away. Alright, so that's what I think of when I think of luxurious stuff. So I did do a bit more of a traditional and cozy kind of interior, because I didn't want them, since they are obviously meant to go with country style stuff and, you know, cottages and coastal houses and that type of thing, but I really wanted to use the counters in this build, so I made sure to sort of make the interior a bit more stylistically so that it would fit in, so the counters would fit in and the interior wouldn't look like it was randomly divided up, just because I really desperately wanted to use those counters. So that was something I tried to do. Hopefully you guys think it looks really good in this house, but I was really happy with the way that the kitchen turned out actually. So also, by the way, this is obviously a duplex there's 2 townhouses here, but I only furnished one of them. I furnished the one on the left side. This is the left side, right? Yeah, I have a hard time figuring out which, I have to do the hand thing still, hold up my hands and be like, which one is the right hand, which one is the left hand, so that's a little embarrassing for me, but whatever. Anyway, so yeah, I only furnished the left one because I didn't have time really. I was a little, I don't know, I wanted to put a video out because it's obviously been a while, and I'm sorry about that. But I've just been, well, no, I haven't even really been busy, I don't know. Time sort of escapes me, if you ever have that feeling of you think you have a bunch of time to do stuff, but then suddenly it's 10 p.m. and you're like, I'm exhausted. Also, I've been sleeping a lot more, which has taken out a lot of time that I would used to spend on homework and building and everything else. I feel like I've just lost a lot of time, but it's probably worth it because I think sleeping has, significantly increased my mental state. So there's that. But anyway, yeah, so as for these townhouses, I'm thinking that I'm going to furnish the second one and maybe make a different video about it, but it might be a little ways away because I think I want to build a cottage or something like that. That was what I initially tried to do for the Country Kitchen Kit counters, and I couldn't really make anything work. I was really upset actually, because I usually do cottages. They're my default build, my fallback. I have a lot of time with them because builds for me are kind of I don't know if I've mentioned this before, I probably have, but they're sort of escapism. I really just build stuff and picture myself living in it, existing in that town and whatever. So cottages are one of my favorite things to build because I'm sort of into that whole, slow moving, peaceful life in the countryside and whatever. But I just haven't been making it work recently, so I don't know. I have to reference my Pinterest boards and maybe find a new picture or something to go off of, because I do have a really hard time, like, just building houses from scratch. I mean, I do it occasionally. Most of the time I have a reference picture, or a few at least. Like, I can't really just pull a style out of my brain. I have to, like, for this house, for example, it wasn't, like, based on only one picture. Like, it was an amalgamation. I do not think that's the right word. But it was just a collection of different pictures. But yeah, so that's what I'm trying to get at, I guess. Sorry if I sound like I'm moving a little slow today. I don't know what it is, but recently I've been like, I don't know, just getting a little tired of myself. My personality is a little, it's a little bubbly. It tends to be when I'm like doing voiceovers and stuff. So I don't know what happened, but today I just kind of got the wind taken out of my sails a little. So I'm a little tired and stuff. I've been a little tired for quite a while, but that's insignificant right now. So yeah, let's discuss the existence of kits, because it really is a thing that they decided to do. So if you're not aware, like if you're not on Twitter and stuff, you might not know this too much, but people like in the Sims community are not very happy about kits. Like they just don't really want them to exist. And the thing is, I see both sides, I guess. One side being like, why do these exist? And the other side being like, I'm so happy they exist. Because, so let's take the country kitchen kit, for example, because I don't have the other ones. I have no desire to bust the dust or, you know, have whatever it is, throwback fit kit. Yeah, I don't want either of those, so I don't have them. But as for the country kitchen kit, I have some thoughts, because I think the counters are genuinely like really beautiful. Like, I feel very strongly when I say, and I will, I think, stand by this opinion for a while, these counters are the best ones we have in the game. Like, just objectively, in terms of the quality of the counters, they're really good. In terms of the like detail put into the counters, they're really good. And like the texture and stuff is just amazing. And I feel like you might look at them and think they're not really versatile, but I think that you could be able to use them in a lot of different builds, and I really like them. So I don't know. And also, of course, they just go with my personal style a lot. Like, I can picture myself using them a lot in most builds that I do, so for that reason I'm not really concerned about like whether or not I'll get use out of them. But like, if you're a super modern builder or something like that, then I can see why you might be like less inclined to get it. But for me personally, I was like, this is, you know, what I've been waiting for. These are the counters I didn't know I needed. Actually, I did know I needed them, because I've been waiting for like wood countertops for such a long time. We have one counter that's wood countertops, but it's got some, it's not really great swatches, and it's very industrial, which isn't exactly what I go for usually. So yeah, like I said, I really, really like these counters. But that said, they are significantly less objects in this pack than there are in like a stuff pack, what we've come to expect from stuff packs. Especially, I feel like they may have screwed themselves over a little bit with the recent release of the paranormal stuff pack as compared to this, which is a kit. So the kits are $5, the stuff packs are $10. So, but the thing is, you would think, because the kit is, like, generally speaking, a third of a stuff pack, it will either be gameplay, build, or create a sim. So you'd kind of expect for kits to be like $3, or, you know, a third of $10, a third of a stuff pack in price, but they're not, and I'm a bit confused about why that is. Like, I mean, everything with EA is a money grab. Like, I think we've just accepted this at this point. Not that we should accept it. Like, if I really thought I could like drop The Sims and not buy anything else, I would probably say boycott, but I won't, because I mean, no, first of all, nobody's gonna listen to me, and second of all, it's not really effective in this case. But yeah, so that's the situation. I think it's overpriced, and the thing is, considering that it's overpriced for someone like me who is from a first world country, this is actually something I thought about more because I saw some people talking about it on Twitter. So I'm thinking about me from like a first world country. I consider it overpriced. I can't really like imagine other countries where just in general like everything is cheaper. Like, the money is just kind of on a different scale, if you know what I mean. So they have to pay the same amount that like I have to, and I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I do know how I feel about that. It's not good. So I don't know, I just feel like that's overall unfair, because like the tweets I saw were mainly from Brazil, I think, and also India, and it's a really like interesting point that it's just like, we think it's overpriced, it's totally worse in a lot of other countries too. So I don't know, I wish that they would just listen more, make stuff a little cheaper, because they're not hurting for money. Like, they'll be fine if they just, you know, put stuff a little cheaper, but that's capitalism, I guess. So it's their world and we're just living in it, I suppose, but I'm not too happy with that. So yeah, but overall, if I'm, like, I guess saying if I would recommend it or not, I would say I would definitely recommend it if you really like that style, because like for me, like I said, I can really picture myself using that in so many different builds. Like, so many different builds I can see myself gravitating towards those counters. So I'm not really concerned about like whether or not I'll get use out of it, but if you are someone who, like I said, likes a more modern style, or just not really a style that's super inclusive of more rustic items and more traditional items and older looking stuff, then it might not be for you. And of course also, like, just money. Consider the money. You don't want to like spend money that you don't have or anything. So not that you need financial advice from a 16-year-old, I'm sure. But yeah, those are my thoughts on it. Let me know what you think, though. I'm pretty sure I'm aware of the general consensus just based on Twitter. I haven't even been on Twitter much, but every time I go on there, I swear it's just people complaining about it, which is fine. I have like mixed opinions actually about people complaining about The Sims, because on the one hand, like, I really hate when people will be like, oh, don't like it, don't buy it, and then don't complain about it, because that's totally, I don't know. I think I used to kind of think like that too, but it just, like, you have the right to give criticism of something if it's not, like, if you've paid for the game, you've already made a $60 investment if you didn't buy it on sale. So, like, of course you're gonna have opinions and want it to be better. Like, that's completely reasonable. And I think it's really dumb when people tell people not to criticize it. But on the other hand, there's some people on Twitter that I swear to God, they never play the game. Like, they don't play the game. It's really clear. And I just don't get why they spend so much time complaining about it, like, why they're so obsessed with that. And they have, like, thousands of followers, and all they do is complain about The Sims. And I don't really understand that either, because at some point, I feel like if you just don't like it, like genuinely don't like it that much, then you should just cut your losses, you know, just move on, stop playing it. I don't know, that's kind of how I feel at least, but it's, yeah, I don't know. People kind of throw in the like, don't buy sort of rhetoric a lot, and that sort of annoys me though, because I feel like that's pretty obvious too. Like, of course you shouldn't buy it if you don't like it. That's going to be wasting your money. But anyway, I could rant for a while about the Sims community and how that goes, because yeah, but I won't, because that would be kind of, I think, a little negative. Sorry, I'm kind of a negative person, or so I've been told, but I don't think that's necessarily incorrect. So, you know, improving my character today. And moving on. So the exterior is coming together here. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it. It is like very much a carbon copy of a lot of different townhouses that I have seen, like pictures of on Pinterest and stuff. There's not really much of a twist to it that I've added myself, just because there's not like a whole lot of room for creativity when it comes to townhouses, since like they have such a kind of strict, you know, structure to them. They're just skinny houses. It's like, really, what can you do with that? But I really enjoyed recreating them, at least, and I think they're really pretty, so there's that. And yeah, I don't know, overall, I have done like London townhouses before, by the way, or not specifically. I don't think I've ever done anything called a London townhouse, but I've done like Brightchester townhouses, English row house, a bunch of stuff like that. So just like I said, townhouses are like one of my favorite types of houses to look at and to recreate in The Sims as well, so it's not surprising, I guess. But yeah, there's that. Anyway, let's see, I guess I can do some personal updates on my personal life really fast. If you watched my last video, sorry about that, your girl, oh, I just said your girl, that's disgusting. But yeah, I was kind of in a rough place, so, you know, I needed a rant. I got a rant. Hopefully it didn't off-put anyone too much, but I'm doing much better now, feeling much better, so that's nice. Just feeling much less anxious, which was kind of a problem before. So yeah, overall, pretty fine. I had my SAT like weeks ago, actually, which is because I mentioned that in my last voiceover, that I had my SAT. That is over now, luckily, and it went okay. I don't really know like how I did in it. Like, I don't know what my grade is obviously yet, because it takes them a while to grade them and stuff, and I think they send you your grade in the mail once they grade it. But we'll see how it goes, of course. I'm not feeling too high stakes about it anyway, since apparently colleges haven't really been looking at SAT scores that much anymore. They're kind of phasing them out. Like, it's not even required that you take the SAT anymore, which, I don't know, I kind of feel like makes sense, because it's like costly to take and costly to prepare for, I guess, if you don't find the right resources online and all of that. But yeah, I don't know. Because the other things, like, it's not really an objective measure of intelligence. It's really an objective measure of, like, your test taking abilities and your ability to work under time and stuff. Like, this is kind of how I feel about a lot of, like, school stuff, like timed write essays and all of that. Like, I get that you're supposed to be able to formulate an opinion and express it in a short duration of time, but I am way too wordy. I'm way too wordy to do that. Like, if you really want a good essay from me, you need to give me time to write it, and it'll take me longer to write it, because like I said, I could say something in 1 word and instead I say it in 5, and then it'll also take me like a while to edit it down. So my time writes are never very good, but I'm sure you guys don't really care about that much. But yeah, my SAT is over, and I had a very chill, like, test instructor as well, so I kind of feel bad. I feel like I cheated a little bit on it, but I really didn't. It's just that, like, he let us keep our phones on our desks and stuff, which usually I think you're supposed to, like, turn it off and put it in a bin or something, which is interesting. I don't know. The SAT is kind of uptight about the rules and whatever, but yeah. And then his name was Josh, by the way. Test administrator Josh also told us, this was, like I said, like 3 weeks ago, that he had heard from higher ups that my school was gonna, like, reopen. And so apparently his number that he gave us, like, percent chance, was 88%. So that's nice, I guess. But yeah, it's been confirmed that my school is gonna reopen now. So it's like, it's not really just news I got from test administrator Josh. It's, like, definite, which I have mixed feelings about, because I just don't get it. Okay, because pandemonium, I mean, I don't need to go through all of the random words TikTok is assigned to the pandemic, like, you know them already. But it's really frustrating, I guess, to me, because I live in a county, I live in California, in the Bay Area, and my county specifically is not doing well. Like, it's objectively not thriving at all. And so the reason that we're reopening, basically, is that, if you're not super up to date on California politics, because why would you be if you're not from here, our good old governor, Gavin Newsom, basically is offering money to schools that reopen, which is good in the fact that they get money, right? Like, my school needs money. We're kind of like the poorest school in our district, although I guess relatively we are not really a poor school, but, you know, either way, I think every school in America could use money. But so there's the money aspect of it, but I just, like, because this goes everywhere. This isn't like LA. LA is, like, literally the country's epicenter for the pandemic. It's a disaster. Everyone, not everyone over there, but a bunch of people over there have it, and it's like, I think it's very irresponsible. I really do. And the other thing is, like, the reason that we're reopening is obviously because it's a necessity, right? Like, a lot of people need that kind of thing, daycare for their children, because they can't take care of them, and I get that, and I, like, understand that. So it's just an unfortunate situation all around. But I guess it's the reason that I find it frustrating, I guess, is just because I feel like we're kind of coming to a close with the whole pandemic thing, like with the vaccine rollouts and stuff. And I just feel like if we could stay with schools closed for a little longer, then we could surely have, like, you know, it would just be better. It would just be better if we could stay closed until, like, the students can get the vaccine, because, I mean, like, most people that are students in school are young, and they have good health, so, like, they're not going to get the vaccine soon. So I don't know, I feel a little anxious about it, because I really don't want my state to get, like, to the state that it was in for a while again, because that would be a real mess. But yeah, anyway, but for my school, it is luckily optional. You don't have to go back to school, which is really good, because, I mean, I would not like to do that, on the one reason, because I don't enjoy going to school in person, and also because I have a high-risk family member living with me, so, like, I don't want to get it and then give it to him. That would not be great. So yeah, I have various reasons that I would prefer not to go back to school. So luckily, like I said, my school is optional, so I'm not too worried about that. I think it's optional this year. I think we're gonna have to go back next year, I'm guessing, or I think it'll probably be mandatory, like, once everyone has the vaccine. Although the vaccine, I'm kind of stressed about the whole vaccine thing too, because my friends, actually, this might be kind of relevant to me because this was in India, but my friend, her grandma got the vaccine, I think, and then got COVID, like, after the vaccine, and she was in India, so they might have a different vaccine than us. But either way, that kind of indicates to me that it's not necessarily the most, ensuring safety and health kind of thing of all the things. So a little nervous about that, but it's fine. You don't need to hear all of my grievances, because I'm sure you have your own So there's that, and yeah, just overall, it's kind of a time, I don't know. Also, softball is happening, which is cool because I do softball, have for like 10 years, and I don't know, I really like love the sport, which is weird because for a while I was kind of just doing it because my dad is living vicariously through me and living his athletic dreams. I mean, he was in baseball when he was a young child, but yeah, I'm not even good at softball is the thing. That's why I didn't really like it for a long time because I felt a lot of pressure to be good at it, right? So now I feel slightly less of that pressure, and I really miss playing it actually because it's just, I don't know, it's been a staple in my life for a really long time, so it's kind of weird to not be able to do it anymore. And also like last year, some like stuff was like, I was just not in a great, the circumstances were not fantastic, so I feel like I could have enjoyed it a lot more last year, like before everything got like canceled. We stopped doing softball once COVID happened. Once it like got to the US and got really bad in California. So yeah, I guess I just miss it a little, so I'm very excited for that to start again, but I don't know if we'll even have games or if it'll just be like practice, but either way, it's a lot of fun for me. So yeah, that's a cool thing. And I've been thinking I want to like start putting in more effort to make like really good quality videos. If that might sound super dumb because you might be thinking like, I don't know, it's a speed build, like how high quality can you make a speed build really? But I don't know, I've been thinking about a few different aspects of it that I might like to implement. So one of them is like, I don't know, walkthroughs. If you guys have seen like some videos where people do like walkthroughs with the cinematic camera of their builds, I might want to do something like that. Or just like, I don't know, better screenshots maybe. And yeah, I've also been thinking recently about like rebuilding stuff or re-recording stuff, I guess, instead of like, so basically like I would build it once and then take screenshots of it and stuff so I could remember it, and then rebuild it based on the screenshots and like record that only, like record the second time through building it, because it would just be like a lot more smooth camera and stuff and just maybe more calming to watch. I don't know, that's something I've been thinking about. And also like I think it sounds like it would be a lot of work and like you would have to spend extra time working on it, but like I have to edit through my videos a lot, so it wouldn't really be like, I think the time I would usually spend editing stuff might just be reallocated to rebuilding something, and it would probably end up being shorter too, which is good because I kind of have been struggling a bit through voiceovers recently, which is just a byproduct of not really uploading as much because obviously I'm doing less voiceovers. And yeah, it's kind of, it's a skill that you have to really work on maintaining because otherwise you kind of lose it a bit. So yeah, I guess that's a thing. I would just like to have shorter videos, but yeah, what do you guys think about that? If you know any builders that do re-recordings and stuff instead of just building something and posting it from their first video, because I don't know, I always find those videos like more calming to watch, and I've just never done them because they seem like a lot of work, and I'm not really down for that. So, but yeah, like I said, I'd like to try it maybe and just see how it goes at least, because it also just seems like fun, just like to remake something and not really have the frustration of like trying to choose things that you think would fit best and stuff, because obviously the first time I'm building something, like sometimes I get stuck and I'm not really sure like what would be the best thing to put where and like, you know, what I should use and stuff. So yeah, all considerations and stuff. But anyway, this is the interior. It's moving along at quite a nice pace. I am quite enjoying, actually. I really like watching it back now. How I decorated this. At the time I was making it, I felt like I was questioning a bit. I wasn't really sure if I was making nice furniture choices, but I'm quite happy with it looking back on it now. And yeah, I really like, by the way, let me know what you think of the kitchen counters, because I know they're not exactly made to be in a house like this, but I really think they turned out really nicely in there. So there's that. And I do, like I said, I went for a bit more traditional of a vibe in this house than I probably would otherwise if I wasn't trying to use those counters. So I think if I decorate the other townhouse, because it's a duplex, so if I decorate the other one, I think I'll do that one in a bit more like a fancy style. So hopefully you guys are into that, enjoying that. Did I just try to put up another hanging plant? There's one in the room already, good god. It's a really nice plant though. That plant from the Paranormal Stuff Pack. Shout out to the Paranormal Stuff Pack. It's really quite nice actually. I am a big fan actually of that stuff pack. Besides the gameplay and the Creedicim, I mean, I don't really use them. I don't have any qualms with them, but I don't really use them because that's just not really how I play the game. Like, I mainly use The Sims these days as a build simulator, so there's that. But I think as far as the build items go in that pack, they were very, very nice. So there's that. That reminds me of one criticism I do have of the Country Kitchen stuff, because I was just thinking about the paranormal stuff pack and how a bunch of items in there are so nice if only they had more neutral tones. I think the same thing about the Country Kitchen kit, not in terms of the counters. I actually like that we got pastel counters, which might be kind of controversial. I guess that's just down to your personal taste. But I really, really wish that the curtains, because there are curtains on just a few of the, like the corner piece counter and the sink and like the hutch looking cabinet, those all have like sort of fabric on the inside of them. They're like curtains because it's glass paneling, and I really wish that those were in more muted tones or more neutrals or something, because there's so many swatches that would be really nice to use, and obviously you can use them. Like the one that I used, the black one, had purple on it, which didn't really fit with the vibe of this, but I just tried to reduce the usage of the purple as much as possible so that I still, like, you know, was able to use it and not really have it break the vibe, because like I said, it's really only incorporated into a few pieces. But I don't know, I just wish that those were more muted colors, because I feel like especially on the counters that are already like colors, like there's a blue one, there's a bunch of blue ones, there's like a peach one, a pink one, all of these things, I feel like they really don't need another color on them, like, because I think if you're going to use them, it's because the first color, the color of the cabinetry, fits well with your vibe. So I don't know, I feel like it was just a weird decision to put in the colored curtains as well. But yeah, they're nice. I just feel like they decrease the versatility a little bit, but that's a thought I have. Let me know what you guys think of that. I don't know, I keep saying let me know what you guys think, but you know, hopefully you do. So anyway, kind of running out of stuff to say. That's little Akis. Oh my god, I just said Akis out loud. That is so embarrassing. I keep saying that like over text. I keep saying like Akis and soups and like soups for super, Akis for awkward and stuff. It's a little bit of a problem because it's really embarrassing actually. Like, I don't know why. I promise I'm not a child. I'm a teenager. You know, that doesn't make it much better, but I promise I am a relatively mature person, so I should be working on that, shouldn't I? But yeah, anyway, this is the parents' room. Let me know what you think of that. It's nice, I think. I use dark woods in here, as opposed to the rest of the build. I use this like kind of really warm brown tone that is, it's really one of my favorite wood tones in the game, but I don't use it often because it just like we don't have a lot of furniture in it, so it's kind of hard to play the matching game of like matching different wood tones together, I guess, that are just slightly off, and it drives me a little crazy. But in real life, it's one of my favorite colors. I actually have 2 furniture pieces in my room that are in that wood tone. Well, not to flex, guys, but I have actual furniture in my room. Wow. But they're both handmade, actually. My grandfather was a carpenter in his day. He's dead now, but back when he was alive and thriving, he made a lot of furniture and stuff, and so my mom has it, and she has given me, because out of the goodness of her heart, I have a desk now that was made by him, and also a hope chest, which is just like a great big chest. You can't really put a lot of stuff in it, or you can't have like blankets and stuff, which I feel like is what you would naturally put in a hope chest, because just everything you put in there ends up smelling like wood. Like, it's not bad necessarily, but could just be a little overpowering, so you don't necessarily want your blankets or like, you know, your winter clothes or whatever to smell like that. But yeah, I just have I use it as storage really, but I can't exactly open it because I keep a lot of plants on top of it since it's directly across from my window. There's a little room tour for you. Just, I can talk through my room, but I won't because that would be weird. But yeah, I don't know, I really like the wooden pieces. They're one of my favorite things. I've been thinking a lot lately about like what I want to do, like if I ever get my own house. I mean, hopefully I'll get my own house at some point, but even like with an apartment or wherever I end up living, I've been thinking a lot about like how I want to decorate it, and I always kind of assumed I would be like go for that IKEA look or something like that, because I know that's kind of what I grew up with. Like I'm thinking of like, you know, 2016 DIY YouTuber era, and all of the room tours and stuff, and they were all like these pastels and whites with pops of color and these like kind of modern, I don't know, like, you know, just modern furniture and everything. So that's kind of what I always assumed that I would want to do in my own home. But now that I'm thinking about it more, especially because recently I've been getting, well, I haven't been getting into necessarily, but I've been kind of appreciating the aesthetics of like cottagecore and even dark academia, actually, because I find that a little pretentious. I mean, not that the people that enjoy the aesthetic are pretentious necessarily, but just just the concept of it, like the classic literature and the, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know, not to insult it, because like I said, I do enjoy it, but like all of those kinds of just vibes and yeah, styles with more traditional and classic furniture and stuff. And also, of course, like it's way easier to find classic furniture and traditional furniture as opposed to like modern furniture in thrift stores and stuff, because that's generally where I assume I will be doing my furniture shopping, first of all, because it doesn't really make sense to me to buy stuff firsthand when you could get it so much cheaper and really virtually the same quality for thrifted, but also like I enjoy the stories of stuff. I don't know, I think that sounds, I kind of think whenever I hear other people say that, like I like thrifting because it, you know, everything you buy has a story behind it and had a life before you. I always kind of think it sounds a little cringy, but here I am saying it myself, so, you know, how cringy do I really think it is? I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. So that's my thoughts on my personal interior design aspirations. I am actually kind of excited to like be able to decorate my own living space at some point. I do have a dream. I don't know if I've ever mentioned this before. My like ultimate dream, which has recently been birthed and inspired by this YouTuber named Ariel Bassett. If any of you know who that is, she's a booktuber, but she's recently been making a series. So she lives in Canada, and she bought this like old house built like 100 years ago, or probably more, honestly. And she's renovating it like by herself, like by hand. She's doing all of the laying the tile and, you know, like tearing up the floors and all of that. She's doing it herself, which I just think, I mean, logistically, it's probably a little stressful. I mean, probably a lot stressful, but I don't know. It's really, I would really like to do that at some point, because I just, like, I build a lot in The Sims, right? And like I said, all of this is like me kind of making these lives that I would like for myself and these like houses that I would love to live in and all of that. So I feel like it would be so fun to literally like kind of have essentially a blank canvas, really. And also specifically, like, I guess I'm inspired by her because she like lives in the countryside. Like, she's in Nova Scotia, I think, Canada. So she's like in the country, and she's a river on her property and all of that. And I just think that's so cool. So I don't know. Hopefully I'll be able to do something like that someday. I mean, I just like, it's a lot cheaper, obviously, to like buy a house and renovate it if the house is really old, and therefore you can get it really cheaply, as opposed to like getting a new house that's been fully furnished and renovated already. And furthermore, I'm not too into the like styles of renovations these days. Like, I used to be obsessed with like Joanna Gaines and Fixer Upper and that style, like the whitewashed wood and, you know, French country, all of that. I mean, I still like French country as a style. I just don't think I would prefer it for my own house, but I don't know. This is all dreams, because we all know I'm probably not going to be able to buy a house for a long time in this economy with my extremely limited skill set. Yeah, a little stressed, but that's okay. Let's not think about the future right now, because that's just completely useless to this second in time. So hopefully you guys are enjoying the build. By the way, we're almost done. I think my favorite room, I really like the parents' bedroom actually, but as far as the bedrooms go, the teenage room might be my favorite as well. I don't know, I like all of them, to be honest with you, not to toot my own horn or anything, but I think all of the rooms are pretty nice. But the teenage one, I was kind of imagining like a Conan Gray type person lives there, if you know who Conan Gray is. Yeah, he's really quite a guy. I used to be so obsessed with his YouTube videos, by the way, in case anyone was wondering. I used to watch his YouTube videos like a while ago, before he got really popular with Kid Crow, which is an album. He's a musician, an artist, I guess would be, I don't know, a more modern word to use, but yeah, I used to watch his videos a lot. But anyway, hopefully you guys, if you are familiar with Conan Gray, see like the style, how it might fit in there. Anyway, that's basically the end of the build. I just have to do the backyard here, and hopefully you guys will enjoy the backyard and enjoy the screenshots, because they are coming up just after I finish putting this vine on the wall. And I don't know, I think I put some like furniture in the backyard and stuff. Furniture? Is that what it's called? I don't know, for some reason I have this idea that furniture must be like on the inside of the house. It's just called patio furniture, I think. Yeah, so I just have to put some furniture in the backyard. That's pretty much it for this video, so thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this build, and if you did, you can leave a like and comment to let me know. Subscribe and click the bell for notifications if you want to see more videos or get notified every single time that I upload a video. And if you like this build and want to play in it, it will be up on the gallery eventually. I've been terrible about putting up builds recently on the gallery, so that's, you know, my bad, and I'm gonna work on it. But that's all. Thank you so much for watching again, and yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!